Welcome back. I'm playing Darfall. We're working on our Chaosborn campaign. Today we're going to be working through the Mistfen challenge here. I think this is the final 10-night challenge, I should say, until we get down to the final area on the south that I think is going to be unlocked once we get this area done. Now, I'm not sure if I'll do the endless challenge or not. I guess we'll try them probably, but this forward city was a beacon of the inhospitable marshes that were the Wrathwoods. Oh my gosh, can't talk. During the invasion, it was one of the first cities to fall to Zagaloth, a demon lord in pursuit of the archmage Eldarin, which we did in the campaign. So this is a swamp biome. And as you're probably aware by now, kind of the shtick to these missions is you have very poor terrain and very poor wood, so you have to frequently move all around the map. So we're kind of following along this role-playing situation that each one of these heroes has taken a different path, so we'll continue on with our paladin here. I'm still not super happy with how he works, but now that I got a little bit better understanding of this, I think I need to alternate like a generator and a spender and then the generator at the end here. I'm a little surprised that the undead thing doesn't say if it's a spender or if it's just a free ability, and it doesn't specify what boss units are, so I don't know if that literally means just like the final demon that comes in that you can't do that, or if it's literally like necromancers, the big fat guys, you know, the war bosses I assume are going to be ones that you can't capture. But because it doesn't really specify the significance there, I don't want to lock myself in, because you can only do 3 abilities as you're going down the chain, and if this is a dud, then I don't want to lose out on the other abilities, because they are actually pretty good. You know, he can turn into an additional healer, not only because of his healing aura during the day, but then his other ability shoots out healing for the damage he does, and then the other one generates a shield, and then finally he can give a damage reduction to another unit, and then the damage they do heals the paladin. So for all those reasons, I think that's probably the best build, so I'm going to focus on that this time here, I think. And then obviously we're playing on the Chaosborn difficulty. So how that works, if you're new to the series, is it increases the HP of the enemy units by 180%, and it also increases their damage by 180%. So it looks like we have some pretty decent areas to do some farms nearby our bases. Unfortunately, they're not super close to our mining and wood line here, so we're not going to be able to get the most bang for our buck on the starting, but it is what it is, I guess. Probably put that there. We'll start making some of these guys and have you start chopping. As you can see, each tree only has about 20-some wood, and that's what makes these actually pretty difficult, because you can spend a lot of resources running around the map setting up additional lumber lines to get your lumber mills up and running, because you just blow through wood so quickly.
You disrupt my prey.
It can sometimes put you into a false sense of security too, because you're like, oh man, they got all this wood nearby, so I should just be able to rush this pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm just blowing through these tree lines like crazy. It's like, yeah, it's because there's barely any wood per tree.
Yes.
I mean, your hero, once he gets a little more energy, can effectively cut down a tree all by himself in one go, as you can see here, with it only being about 27 for his energy here, or for his total wood per tree. Because he gets 15 per chop, so that's 30 in 2 chops. So it's like there's another tree down here. Oh, I see, the right click sent him back, even though he still had energy because he cleared the tree off. I see what happened there. Yeah, we're gonna have to get the vegetable field going here for the food. Otherwise we're not gonna be able to make any more guys.
My armor, my home.
Alright, send you up here to help take out some of these trees, and then we'll run around and get some of the bones and stuff around us. Got an alligator up there. Alright, got a level here, so we might as well just chop here, and that'll also inspire our food guy. start leveling up our hero. And I still have a little bit of that lingering cold, so I apologize if my voice is cracking and being a little bit obnoxious.
Solara,
Hopefully
flash
it'll
my
be
weapon.
getting out of my system here shortly.
Now you've got my attention.
Alright, so we're going to start needing to get some stone, it looks like. But I'd like to clear out these trees so I can get more farms here. Because I'd hate to waste the trees, given our situation.
A servant of Solara stands ready. We advance.
Alright, try to get him in a position where he can inspire the most guys
my honor,
here.
My home.
But yeah, we're going to have to transition him over to mining stone since we haven't been able to make any more guys yet. And get a third one here. It's going to be -3 efficiency, but it's probably as good as we're going to get it. Until we can get a stable, that is.
Now you've got my attention. A servant of Solara stands ready.
Probably should make a storehouse too, but we'll see. So if you're unfamiliar, mining takes 40 energy per cycle, whereas cutting trees takes 30. And if you hide on the keep square circle there, not only will you heal, but it'll expedite your energy regeneration. So that's why I keep running back there to regenerate our energy quicker.
You disrupt my prayer. Now you've got my attention.
Alright, so we're on day 1. It's about 4 p.m. Should probably get over here and chop that tree. Then I can set up a little storehouse, but I need more stone. So I guess I got to do another round of this before I chop that tree. Suppose there's no rush to get in that other farm since I don't even have the food to get another peasant yet. In my foolishness, I started creating stone bricks, not thinking that I needed to save up the stone for the storehouse, so that's actually making bricks faster than I'm getting stone. That was a little foolish. And counterintuitive.
I must.
Alright, so it'll be 3 chops to get this down. And then we'll probably expand to the northwest afterwards so we can get more farms up there. I don't want to do that so early, though.
Yes?
Because then that's just more area that I need to try to protect during the first night. And we're going to be soloing it with our paladin here. And that's not particularly uncommon on these harder difficulties, that you can easily survive the first night with just your hero. By night 2, you definitely want to have a army starting to get generated though. And then as you're leveling up, it restores all your HP and energy.
You disrupt my prayer.
So if you can time that appropriately while you're gathering resources, you can stay out and gather additional resources longer than you would normally. And I like to start transitioning to getting planks and stone bricks, so then you can get the more elite tier buildings on your second night, because you're going to want to have a charcoal burner, assuming you're making lampposts that are going to be burning through your charcoal quicker. And then also to get a barracks, which is going to need both bricks and planks. And then finally, I like to rush a tavern too, because that increases the efficiency gathering rates of all the peasants that are within range of that tavern. And the tavern actually has an incredibly big range, so you can cover more than what your starting area is to the base doing that.
Solara guides.
And then if you have even more, then you can also get an altar going, and that can start to convert bones into mana orbs, because by the end of today, I'll start blowing through all of our mana orbs, and unless I am able to start killing guys, I actually won't be able to produce more units. And unfortunately, when these undead attack, you don't get any mana orbs for killing undead. It's just living creatures that you siphon their mana out of.
Forward.
Of course, I just run back and it's jumping down again. I'd like to go there, but then I'm going to have trees in my way. So maybe we just build you up here so you're kind of out of the way and also acting as a buffer to protect those guys.
My armor, my home.
Yeah, the easy thing is just continually spamming the repair function here. Because you can easily out-heal the damage they do to the buildings as long as you don't let them just sit there and keep attacking it. Because once you start attacking them, it'll aggro them off of the building attack to attacking your unit. And for most of the night they come in waves of 1. I think on a couple of waves they come in as 2 units, and then they also send in a Margul looking thing. Margeist, I think is what they call them in regular Warhammer. See, here's one that's got a double.
Attack!
Yeah, this might actually be a problem because I'm not killing them quick enough, so now they got 3 of them on me. So that force field's helping me. Alright, we should be able to kill this guy. Problem is, we've suffered so much damage, it's going to be hard for us to hold the line. So I may actually have to go back and heal.
We advance.
Interesting. I think I see an enemy up there in the northeast, but it doesn't look like it can come over. Oh, maybe I'm lying. The other nice thing with the Paladin is during the day, sometimes what can happen at night is your guys are getting, yeah, see, they are getting stuck up there. That's really cool. Because that can probably help us stay alive much easier.
They will know panic.
Alright, let's get you down there. But what I was going to say is, if your peasants get attacked early on, then over a couple of nights they can actually suffer quite a bit of damage. And normally you can't heal them until you get clerics, but your paladin, as he's running around, he can actually heal your units with his healing aura during the day, and that can really help buff up your peasants for their survivability early on.
Let justice be swift.
It also allows you to creep much more effectively during the day too, because you're getting a slow heal out. And if you can focus it on only one guy getting injured during the pushes, then he'll heal for the full amount, because it will happen is it'll, I think, split the healing up in between 2 to 3 units.
Now you've got my attention.
But if you only have 1 unit healed, then it'll heal for the full amount. So that, against real low tier mobs, can actually out-heal the damage they can do just about, especially if you're running between different locations and not in a continuous battle. And that can let you stay out for long periods of time where just your inventory tends to be your rate-limiting step here. Alright, so we're now out of mana, unfortunately. Well, let's set these guys up like this so we're ready. And I think it's time to start creeping. So let's get an idea of what's around us.
Be purged by light.
Alright, so we got a ghost. Probably should have saved my energy because it looked like he was attacking spearmen instead. And so again, as you can see, my guy is out healing their damage. And I guess let's just keep going up here. Because usually these race can actually be a little bit hard to kill early on. But it's like a non-factor with the healing aura here. It's just going to take a long time for that battle.
We advance.
Now that's interesting, because usually the undead don't give you mana, but then we just killed that ghost.
Stands ready.
And then he just gave us mana orbs, so looks like they're a little inconsistent with that. I probably could have been more efficient had I just had my hero go up there and kill that. Or chop that wood instead of having those lumberjacks, peasants running back and forth like that. That was probably pretty stupid and very inefficient of me. Now what I'm curious about is if I clear out this northeast corner, that will encourage the random spawns at night to keep going up there. So maybe I can actually build some towers up there to kill the units, because I don't know if they keep spawning up there, if they get so many of them that they'll stop getting summoned in, so I can always kind of siphon a small amount of them up that way. So I might try to cheese this a little bit to help us. Because I find the marsh actually be quite a challenging map because of the wood situation. If you've seen some of my other playthroughs on the marsh, one of the ones I've almost lost was due to the marsh because of almost bankrupting myself with very poor wood income.
At once.
Alright, well, I actually really like killing these slimes because not only are they pretty easy to kill, but then they spawn in more slimes when they die, and then it just gives you more time to get more items and more experience and more combat, so it's just like a good all-around unit to fight. Just like we just got mana orbs there, now we just got more experience for killing each one of these little mobs here. Now, as you can see, the healing potential has gone down because we are suffering other damage, but for the most part, we are still doing pretty good. Now, unfortunately, that healing well there does not have much for resources around it, because what I like to do is if I can get up to 5 troopers on day 2, then I like to have my hero just run to this healing energy well if you find one. Damn, that's a big camp.
Yes?
And just spend all night chopping down the trees, getting a lot of resources. Because you can easily get 500 to 700 wood depending on how many trees are near your energy well there in one night, and that's more wood than you're going to gather in a whole day early on with all your peasants, so that's like supercharging your economy. As you can see, he regenerates energy faster than he spends it when he chops here when you're under the influence of the energy well. And then in case you haven't watched my other playthroughs, if you're kind of curious how I level up my units, is I always focus on the mana affinity early on. And the reason for that is it gives you a chance of doubling the amount of mana orbs that you're getting. And as you can see, early on, my rate limiting step right now is the mana orbs. So this is allowing us to expand early on quicker, because all units take mana orbs to create. We already found a robe, so we should be able to get a cleric. So it's pretty unusual that we'd have a cleric getting generated this early in the game. Usually that's an end of day 2, maybe even a day 3 situation. This is actually an interesting map. It looks like we're going to actually have a ton of choke points and kind of be on a little island on our own here. So if that's the case, this could actually make this pretty easy to defend. 'Cause it looks like we literally are going to have 3 or 4 ways in this whole northeast. Well, I guess I'm not sure what's going on over here, because we did see guys get summoned in over here.
At once.
This looks like a dead end, though. How are they getting summoned in?
We advance.
Yeah, because there's not a pathway there. There doesn't look to be a pathway down here. Yeah, there's definitely not. Yeah, so this is a blind end, so I'm not sure how they were summoning in here. Unless they're literally spawning in right by that wall, and then some of them are spawning on the other side of the wall.
We advance.
But since we have a cleric already, I think I can probably just push this dark ritual site.
Forward.
Oh god, that's a war boss down there, so I can't even push that direction. This is interesting, I'm like boxed in, but there's super elite mobs around me.
We advance.
Alright, so I think since I got an army of 5 guys, we're just going to use our hero to run around and get resources since we're running out of wood. And since I still have till 2200 for guys to get summoned in, I'm going to bring you guys up here to just clear out these mobs to see if we can keep encouraging them to summon guys over here so they're not attacking me.
My armor, my hope.
So as you saw at the start, you know, the Paladin kind of has 2 features. The first one is during the day, he has the healing aura. And then at night, his aura transitions to be like a torchlight so your guys don't get spooked underneath the wood. Or underneath darkness. Sorry, I saw the wood cutting there and it made my brain misfire. Oh, I never did get my tavern. That was an oversight. Yeah, so we got 2 different areas there. So if I come over here, that should get most of that. Well, I'm not going to be over there chopping for very much longer though, right? So is it really important that I cover that corner now that I've abandoned it almost? So maybe we just push this way, because it looks like the farms are still going to be covered. Yeah. I think this is what I'm going to do. Let's put you up here. And then if I push to the south, I can just make another one.
Oh, bless my weapon. Solara guides. Now you got my attention. Forward! I march. We advance.
Alright, well I suppose we eventually have to invest in some torchlight here. His aura isn't quite big enough when he's recharging on the keep to keep all the lumberjacks in their place
My honor,
and at peak efficiency. Let's have him clear out the trees that are farthest away so we don't make the same mistake we did in the northwest section there.
Yes? Solara guides.
Yeah, it looks like they're mostly coming from the southwest here. They did come from the east, didn't they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. I'm not going crazy. So they must have spawned on the other side of the wall. Must have been what happened there. I don't see anybody showing up over there right now is the situation. Oh, damn it. See, now they're coming from the northeast, but we know, or the northwest, but we know that's a blind end. So how are they coming in here? Because there's water there and impassable terrain. So there's some fuckery afoot here. I'm gonna have to play with these game mechanics a little bit. I think there's some funny business here. Maybe that'll be one of the goals of this campaign, is I might actually learn how these guys are summoned in here. Because I have a suspicion that this is going to be a very cheeseworthy map from what I'm seeing so far. Because I have yet to see the AI summon units on top of my units. So I wonder if I expand our guys out, if that will cause them to stop summoning guys in certain directions towards us.
Yes? At once.
But if I build buildings in the northeast corner there, will that stop them from summoning guys into that corner and make them come in a different direction? So this could actually work both ways, being both beneficial and potentially detrimental. So the plot continues to thicken here. Pick up some equipment. That's just a straight upgrade. We'll break that down. Start running you around to help us push. Yeah, we don't exactly have a lot of room here. Because I can't go from the south, because there's a war boss, and there's definitely no way we can start fighting him until we get knights. Oh, that's probably going to be an upgrade. Yeah, see, here's a demon dog here. That was weird. I don't know why that was lagging like that. I don't really see that happen often on this game. Oh, I forgot to set my limits. That's why it's not converting these guys. I'm like, why am I stockpiling so many resources? That was an oversight on my part.
We advance.
Damn, even that down there is pretty decent orc camp too.
You disrupt my prey.
Pull you back. Because I don't want you to be getting damaged, because only naturally
I must.
get a great item, but it's not from my type character. Probably should get the tailor going either way. See, as you can see, you're just continually having to rebuild these wood cutting locations.
At once.
Damn, even here has a war boss too. Well, let's just run away, I guess. I have to drop my items off anyways. Alright, we can start getting this up and running too, but we have to chop more of these trees down to clear out this area. You know, deforesting for the win, I guess.
At once. I march.
Well, maybe I can fight that bottom camp, but it's not going to be easy. So if I do that and this, or if I do that, but then I can't use up the other one. I guess we'll just do something like this. Ah, shit. I can do it up there. And then I can do another one down here. I guess that's an option. Yeah, we have to delete this. That was a bad spot for it. I didn't plan that out very well. So we can put you here instead.
Solara, bless my weapon.
And I guess we'll try to aggro these guys and see if we can do the fighting. Because it's like I can't fight the portals or do any of this other stuff right now.
Forward.
There, some of them ran away.
We advance.
Interesting. Got some silver. It's kind of unusual this early.
At once.
Yeah, I just cut through that barrier like it was nobody's business.
I march.
Right, let's get that. Alright, sweet. Upgrades all around, it looks like. And that's not really an upgrade. I think it's supposed to be a robe, but I always think it's an armor.
My armor, my home.
Alright, so we're out of items. Inventory space, I should say. Do I just push the... I think we just push it. We're here, our health is pretty good.
Now you got my attention. I march.
Alright, just giving us a nice influx into our economy.
Forward.
Nice. Objective completed. Dang it. I want the perk books.
I march.
I guess you can try to fight the caterpillars. They're actually usually pretty tough because of that poison, and they're also a pretty decent level right now.
At once.
Damn, we're gonna have some nice resources to take. You can farm those areas for experience if you want to, but I think it's generally just faster and more efficient to continually just get some kills by creeping to other locations, and then you get better items. But I suppose hypothetically, if you're really struggling for food, then just killing those guys could be a good way to gather a ton of it. As you can see, everyone you kill is getting you 9 to 13
Forward.
food,
We advance.
and your food workers only generate, I think, about 4 every time they run in, so that's 3 rounds of gathering potentially. Alright, let's run you back to base. Alright, I did build the stable. I couldn't remember if I did that or not. So I think let's just start getting the fertilizer going.
At once. I march.
Oh, that's right. I haven't really gotten much for hides yet. That should change once we start breaking down some of these other items, though.
Forward.
Alright, we can get that bonus experience from combat. And since we know it doesn't start stacking up those effects until you have a spender, we might as well get that going. I thought maybe I could just stack up a ton of those. See, now we got the furs and hides. Much better. Alright, let's get the smelter, because we did have some iron with those items, so we can see if we can get the iron bars.
I march.
So if I can get the second last best backpack, that'll definitely help, since as you can see we're finding lots of items. We can actually get a knight already, so that's a pretty big boost. Start getting some slayers, which I don't think are unreasonable, and some archers. I suspect I may want my hero to gather resources this time, depending on what we see.
Forward. At once. Solara guides. We advance. I march.
It just seems like I find a disproportionate amount of mage items. I don't know if that's just like
Solara guides.
retrospective bias, or if that's really the situation here.
I march.
Alright, let's run you back to base and have you come up here.
At once.
Alright, full inventory again.
Solara guides.
Alright, we almost got 10 troopers. We're gonna need some light up here. Otherwise our guys are gonna be spooked.
We advance.
You know what just dawned on me?
Disrupt my prey.
Because I had a helmet, and because when you don't have equipment on, the first set doesn't tell you it's an increase, so I think in my mind I just assumed that that was worse because it wasn't in green and I broke it down without equipping it. Oh my gosh, I'm just playing on reflex and didn't even think that that's what happened. Can definitely tell the sickness is affecting my brain here. Alright, let's get that fertilizer in all these spots. We can start getting these trees cut down so I can make houses over here.
Forward.
Because I have some hypotheses here that I want to try out. Because I think what I can do is maybe build my buildings and get some vision far enough out that I can stop the enemy from summoning in by using the obstacles and non-passable terrain. Would not be so far away that it's going to make them all get summoned in on pathways where they can attack me. So like I said, I usually don't like to cheese the game too much, but I want to know if this is actually a thing. It's just too interesting of an idea for me not to try to play around with. So I think what I'm gonna do is I will fight through the night, and then probably after the night I'll call it quits for the day.
My armor, my home.
Alright, let's get some furs.
Disrupt my prey.
Because for whatever reason I don't seem to be generating very many of them.
A servant of Solara stands ready.
Okay, so they are coming from the east side here. So maybe my hypothesis is not working. Or I just haven't done it enough. Well, I guess we'll use this as a testing situation. So if I come up there, will it stop them from summoning in more guys from the northwest? Because what I don't know is, do I need to have... Is it light that stops the undead from coming? Or is it just that they can't be within visual range? Because technically, even though I have buildings out there, with it being nighttime, I can't see anything. So maybe they would still spawn on top of me and I wouldn't know? I don't know yet. This could all be bullshit too, so bear with me, guys. This might just be a tinfoil hat conspiracy situation, but alright, there we go. Get that fine backpack. And we'll keep chopping over here.
At once.
Alright, so they're still coming from the east. So maybe this is not going to work on the east, so maybe I'll have to just build a wall here.
Stands ready. I march. Yes.
Yeah, okay, so they're definitely coming from the east here. So that's a bit frustrating.
Solara, bless my weapon.
Alright, well, we're not going to repeat our mistake twice. Yep, so they're still coming from the northeast, but they're getting blocked. Doesn't look like there's any fish in the water here, unfortunately. So it looks like we can't use that to our advantage. So maybe what I'll do today is kind of expand here a little bit, see what I can do, build some towers to the northeast to try to kill guys and encourage them to keep spawning in on me. Because I'm a little suspicious it might actually be the light that's going to be what affects whether they spawn in or not. And we'll keep expanding and moving around our base here. Because if I can cheese this to only have them attack from certain directions, then I should be able to make a massive base, because I'll only have to protect it from a few directions. So we'll see how this ends up playing out. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I think I'll play throughout the day here, because I think this should be a pretty quick day. And I'm really curious to see if I can cheese
at once
these summoning. Yeah, see, these guys are still coming in here.
I must.
So they're coming, but they're getting confused on the pathing, is what it looks like.
Forward. Solara guides. At once.
Which is actually kind of embarrassing. It just shows poor AI functioning. Let's keep this going, because that'll increase the amount of healing once he gets those generated. We know they got that powerful orc camp to the south.
On target.
Let's try to push these guys to come over to us.
At once.
Kill this.
I must.
I see we're just finding tons of mage stuff.
Forward. At once. My honor.
Get the charcoal. That should hopefully be an upgrade. Alright, we got a dark pylon, and thankfully it looks like it just summoned actually to the north of us. So that should be pretty easy for us to take out. Yeah, there's a lot of green there, but not a lot of it is relevant to what we're doing, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't have an iron spot yet. Oh yeah, it's day 4, so orc raids are going to be showing up. Ah, that's funny. They're getting summoned to the north there after our location, so they're stuck on the other side of the water.
At once. Aiming.
So while it may not actually work for
I must.
trying to cheese the chaos guy summoning, it looks like it's going to cheese the orcs. I assume what's going to happen though is I'm going to use this location here to make our ore generation, which means the orcs are probably going to be summoned nearby.
I must.
This is not the kind of guy I want to be fighting on a corruption.
At once.
Yeah, see, you can clear out this wood surprisingly fast. Now let's start working on clearing out this area here, because I have not seen them get summoned from this direction. And this should therefore be safe. Get the increased experience through combat.
Solara guides. We advance.
Yeah, oh, I see. I'm like, why am I losing so much food? But it's because I'm making so much fur.
Now you've got my attention. A servant of Solara stands ready.
That should be quite a bit better. Yeah, these stupid impassable terrain obstacles interfering with our building. Get more housing. Run you over here to start picking up some items. And then you can start getting the iron going.
I march.
I guess we'll take those. Alright, get these. I can't really... Can I get over here? Yes, I can actually. Alright, I might actually be able to use that. Although there's crypts over here I can clear out too. I think this outpost will be safe. From the undead. If I come down here I can start making more farms. Since I'm only to 30 food, which kind of surprises me. But...
Yes? At once. We advance.
maybe that'll increase, but I don't think I used any more fertilizer yet. Yeah, if anything, it seems to be going down. Yeah, see, it doesn't look like there's any fish over here to be gathered. So let's leave the storehouse and things there, because I'm curious if that's going to stop them from coming from the northwest. And if nothing else, it might still trigger the orc raiders from coming to attack our outposts, but I find that hard to believe, but we can try it. But if it does, that's going to make it so we can push super aggressively. Run you back to base. And I feel like we got enough.
At once.
Oh, shit. Of course I built that right there where it's in the way. Naturally. Alright, let's destroy it first, so I know where the next one is. Yeah, we're still just short on wood. I can build it. If nothing else, then I'll know where the boundary is. Maybe just send him over there to make wood. I can't quite tell where the boundary is there. I think that's it. So we'll try to get the vision here. And maybe what I'll do is just make some walls. And we learned how stupid water pathways can be, so we're going to build past that seashore area. Alright, now I think we're going to be pretty close to being done for the night. So once the Undead Rising, I think I'll call it quits, and then we'll start with the base defense next time. Alright, try to save those trees here. So with that, I'm going to call it quits here for the night. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great night.